Welcome to the 175th celebration of the Waynesboro Cumberland Presbyterian Church. I am so thankful that all of y'all are here. I know everyone is excited that we're all here to celebrate 175 years of this beautiful little white church off the square. So I kind of wanted to start this video just kind of by saying, you probably just heard a very thorough history of our church from Daddy Coy over there, but I kind of wanted to give an introduction of this little video that we have going on. So I know that 2020 was chaos and it really hurt people physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, all the things. And so thank goodness we can be together today. And, I think last year was a really big year for us to learn as a church and learn as a human, how we can make small improvements that are going to make big differences. So you may hear today something about what we did with the Christmas program or what we did with our Christmas lunch. So I kind of wanted to give a little insight. So last year, we were kind of thrown for a loop. Our Christmas Eve program, I'm sure Mr. Coy just told you, we celebrated 100 years of our Christmas program that we have on Christmas Eve every year. And we had to get creative because we just had to figure it out, and we made it virtual last year. And then, of course, our normal Christmas dinner that we have on Christmas Day, we had to figure out how we could reach the community and still be safe. And, we found ways to do that. So you may hear some of those little tidbits today, and I kind of wanted to give you a little background on it. As you watch and listen to this video, you may hear some familiar voices of people that still go to church here, of people that may not go to church here, but they still have family ties, and they come to church when they visit home. So this video is just a mashup of a wonderful 175-year story. So let's get it started. I hope it turns out okay. I'm so thankful that y'all are here, and let's watch.
I've been a member of the Waynesboro Cumberland Presbyterian Church since 1954. The first Sunday that my dad and mama brought me into the church, and I saw those metal grates in the floor. And I looked down in them because I'd never seen anything like it, and I could see a little flame. I'd never seen an oil furnace before. And I saw that, and I thought, this is uptown. How pretty it was.
And we're originally from Oklahoma. We moved to Tennessee. I moved in 1992. And then Susan and the 4 kids came in the summer of 1992, right?
93.
Been a member of this church probably about 55 years, the best I can remember. Mark, what about you?
And I've been a member since 1983 when Jim and I married. He brought me to Waynesboro, and I have been in the church ever since. And I was baptized there in the church by the session members and the elders.
The first memory I have of the church is when I was a little girl. We lived across the street from there, and I thought it was a pretty building. And little did I know that years later how much that church would mean to me.
Apparently, when I was a little girl or a baby before I could talk, I would sing. And I would not, know the words or anything, but I would sing really loud. And so I still sing really loud. So I guess I got my start early in when I was a baby. But one of the memories of the church is I don't know if it's my fondest memory, but it's one I want to share, is when I was about 10 or 11, Dr. Anderson was in charge of the choir. And we, as being young girls, we didn't want to sing in the choir, but we didn't have very many people in the choir. So Dr. Anderson would peep his head around that corner of the choir loft looking for us. And we would try to hide behind Mother or Dad, and he would take that finger and point at us, and then point like, "Come here."
Stacy, our second child, our second daughter, she came to church with her friends, Amy and Amanda Beavers. And she just was dying for us to come visit the church. So, so we all started visiting the church. Her favorite thing about the church back then was there were a number of young children. She was in 3rd grade, and Michelle was in 5th grade. Nick was in kindergarten, and Julia was in preschool. But her favorite thing was that all the kids got to ring the bell, the big bell in the bell tower before worship started. So she was dying for us to come see the bell in the pretty little white church. I think we need to continue providing services in the community. I think that's going to be our that is our strength. That's our that's what sells our little church. People will say, "Oh, you go to that church that provides Christmas dinner," or "You go to the church that supports the Butterfly Foundation or Kids Place," or a number of the other, the Backpack Program, or a number of organizations and events in the community. And I think that's how we're known, and I think that needs to continue.
The first thing that really stands out that I remember was the Christmas Eve program. Of course, me being away from home, I needed that program that evening because I was missing my family that first Christmas. So the Christmas Eve program was just what I needed at that time.
I'd say back in the day when we had a whole lot of young people, and we had one of the largest youth groups that was organized in Waynesboro, and we met every week, and it was attended not only by the Cumberland Presbyterians, but by those in the Christian church and the Methodist church. And then on the nights theirs met, we would attend theirs, and we would attend each other's conferences, and it seemed like we were united together as Christians. We need to get younger people to come in as those wanting to find Christ and become good working members, and let us older few that are left guide them for a while and help them develop program.
Well, for me, it's clear answer for me. It's the Christmas program, because I can remember being so little that I had trouble getting up on that little stage, that little step up, and that was just something every year that everybody looked forward to and everybody took part in, and we kept. I mean, we're still going to it as adults. None of the other churches I've ever been to have anything like it.
Everybody might not need something to eat, but if we can just reach one or two people that make them feel loved that day, or fill their belly up. If we feed 700 and really touch 10, 50, or 100, I think that's our mission.
Last year, when we didn't get to have it like we normally do, we still provided the dinners for the community, but it really was a hole that we had from missing serving the community to those that could come, and that's been real important to me.
And they're always there for each other, no matter what. And I just think it's just a wonderful family to be there.
And that's really the thing that keeps me coming to our church, is that sense of service to our community. Community in Waynesboro, community in Wayne County, community in all of the contiguous counties around Wayne County.
The first memory I have is walking in the back door of the church when I was little, and Miss Tootsie said, "Betty, it's so good to see you here."
Oh.
And it made me feel so good.
Anyway, another memory I have is always sitting in church and then looking at my daddy right up there in the northeast corner of the sanctuary doing children's time every Sunday for years.
My favorite thing about the church is the fact that no matter what we do, our congregation participates and supports it. And the Christmas program and the Christmas dinners are like home to me. We've been doing it for a long time now, and all of the members participate. And that is our Christmas, and that is our home, and our family. It's not just our immediate family that's blood relatives, but our family is our church family.
They kept saying to Clyde, "We want you to come to church. We want you to come to church." So finally Clyde decided, they said, "Do you want us to come and get you?" When he decided to go, he said, "No, I can find my way over there." But we walked in that church and we sat in the middle next to that pole. And we just sat there, and after church was over, the whole congregation just came around us and welcomed us, and we never did quit going.
You know, Waynesboro Cumberland Presbyterian Church is still my church. It just always is. It always will be. So one thing I like about it is it doesn't change. The building, the setting, and that's what I like about it. I'm so glad that it hadn't changed that much. The membership is still loving and welcoming, and it's just a good feeling every time I go in there.
It's just a church family.
That's why it's so not worldly. It's so unworldly. That's a word that would come out that would describe my home house and my home church.
Well, the Cumberland Presbyterian Church is my home. It's not only my home; it's the people there and what we do that keeps me coming back. Even though we're small, we do a lot of good things. And
even when there's just a few of us there, I always feel like I've come to church.
We see Jesus in the eyes and in the voices of every member of that church.
Favorite memory of my church is when the church accepted me as one of them. And after church, I shook hands with every one of them. And there was a lot of them. That's the famous memories of my church.
Happy 175th!
Hi, Waynesboro. Remember us? We're the Allisons, Mark,
Christy,
and our two not-so-little children,
Sarah Kate,
and Aiden. And we wanted to wish you all a very happy
175th birthday.